I wrote a script that plays a game. This particular game is called the Chaos Game. Now the way it works, it's going to seem a little tricky at first, but the way it works is you begin with an imaginary triangle on the screen. As you know, the screen is really an XY coordinate system, and my imaginary triangle in this particular case has three vertices, as all triangles do. One vertex is up here where I have the sprite that looks like a tennis ball at 0, 180. The other imaginary vertex is down here at x equals 240, y equals negative 180. And my third vertex is over here at x equals negative 240, y equals negative 180. As you can see, I have my screen background as the xy coordinate system. Hopefully that helps. So the way this game works, again it's called the Chaos Game, is you randomly generate a number, either 1, 2, or 3, and I'm displaying the number up here so you can see what's happening. You randomly generate a number, and then you move halfway between the current sprite location, and you can get the current sprite location by using these XY position blocks that's underneath sensing. Oops, I'm sorry, it's underneath motion. There it is, X position and Y position. You can get the current position of the sprite using this. You need to find the midpoint between the sprite's current position and the vertex that corresponds to the random number that's generated. So, well, let's play it a couple times. Well, I'm calling this vertex 1, this vertex 2, and this vertex 3. And we'll play it a couple times and you'll see what's happening. So I'll run it. And you can see that the random number is 2, and the sprite went halfway between his current location, which was up here, and vertex number 2. And what I'm having the sprite do is move one step, and that way he'll put down a little tiny dot there. He puts the pen down and moves one step. I'll run it again, and the random number was 3. He moved halfway between his current position and vertex number 3. Halfway, of course, is just the midpoint, and you remember from math class how you find the midpoint on an XY coordinate system, right? You just add up the x values, divide by 2, add up the y values, divide by 2. So you're going to need this little plus block, and you're going to have to divide by 2, and then you will have to go to that midpoint location using the go to xy. So let's run it a couple more times. So again, my random number was 2 in this case, so he moved halfway between his current location and 2, and he's putting down a little dot here just by putting the pen down, moving a step, and picking the pen up. Again, the random number was 2, so he moved halfway between where he was and random location 2. And I'll keep playing this game. The random number was 1, so he moved halfway between where he was, in other words, his xy position, and random vertex number 1. I could keep playing it again and again and again. Now, I'm generating a random number every time I hit the space bar, but you're going to do it automatically using a repeat loop. And I would suggest actually repeating this a whole lot of times. Well, I'm not gonna keep going. It'll spoil the surprise, but I think you will find that you end up with a pretty cool looking picture. Again, this is called the Chaos Game, and I think if you get it working, you'll know it. It's gonna be pretty cool.